What is going on, everybody? It's Jeremy from Start Your Systems, and today, obviously, we got some more Reflex, another track review, and this week we're gonna be doing a Supercross. I don't remember. I did a Supercross well, it was classified as a Supercross, but it wasn't really a Supercross. If you catch what I'm trying to say. But we're gonna do 6 laps. Yeah, we'll do 6 laps. It's a bit longer of a Supercross track. It's called Cool Rhythms by Gary664. It's a bit of an older track, but there hasn't been too many tracks coming out for the game, so I've had to resort to going to older tracks that I haven't reviewed yet. But I actually did review one of this creator's tracks before, and it's fairly new. It's Pine Acres. If you guys remember my review of that, I gave it a pretty good rating, and it was a pretty fun track. And I thought I reviewed one of this guy's tracks before, so I kind of looked at what he's made, and it seems like he's just a Supercross specialist. Like, I think he's released like maybe 5 or 6 tracks, something like that, and they're all Supercrosses. And like I said, I gave Pine Acres a really good review, and I played about 8 or 9 laps on this track, and I really enjoy it, honestly. It's really got that Supercross feel to it, and it really lives up to the name, Cool Rhythms. There's quite a few cool rhythm sections on this track, and it's just got that like real Supercross feeling to it. Like, I could see this being an actual Supercross layout in real life. Like, maybe change up some of these sections, like right here. It's pretty flat, but other than that, I honestly could see this being a real Supercross layout, and maybe change up this section here. But I don't know, it's actually kind of technical. Like, this section right here, you really got to like check up and get your power to the ground fast, because it's that first step on is really tough to get if you don't have enough speed. And I think the rhythm sections, or that one in particular, was made really well. It's really, I shouldn't say difficult to triple in, but you've got to be paying attention. But as you get like more and more laps in on the track, and the track deformation takes over, it is possible to quad in. It took me about 5 laps to do it, hitting the same line over and over again. Which brings me to my next point, the track deformation. I don't know if it's just this track or what, but or like how he made the berms, but the track deformation is like perfect. It gets deep, but it doesn't get so deep to where, like, you know how you like would hit a foot peg or something and you just fly off the bike. That doesn't happen on this track. I don't know if it's just how he built the track or whatever, but I haven't experienced that weird fall off yet. So if it was, or if it is because of the berms, he did a great job with them. And it's really easy to stay in the same. Oh, let me just quad in really quick. Alright, that's the first time I ever hit that line right there. And I knew you could hit it, but I didn't know you could hit it that well. The first time I ever quadded in, I like quadded and then like jumped over that tabletop, but yeah, I guess just the faster people are going to be doing that. Like I said, it's an older track, so I'm sure most of you have played this track, and I'm assuming most of you are faster than I am. He said lap times on this track should be around 1:20, but if you're under 1:20, then you're pretty good. So I'm hovering just over 1:20, so I'm average at the game. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in the past, but when it comes to these custom tracks, I'm not the same as what I used to be when I played this game. Um, Actually, really quick though, that corner that I just hit with that inside, that's one of the only faults that I have with it, with this track overall, is he has that inside there, but it's really like tough to just like get into and stick in. Like the berms are made really well, but that rut in particular is pretty bad. And then you see right there, I tried quadding in and I cased it, but that rhythm section is forgiving enough for me to be able to, you know, get back into some sort of rhythm, which is really cool. He made it technical but forgiving, but not too forgiving, if that makes sense. I'm going to try to hit a couple different lines here these next few laps for you guys, just so you get a sense of how the lines match up. Like on any Supercross track, there's always going to be one main line, and for me, I think that's what I've been hitting these few laps here. But there are different lines, obviously. I think that line may actually be faster than going to the outside, but the outside is more consistent for myself at least. So that's why I just stick to the outside for the most part. And right here, oh, hitting the tires. Okay, it is possible. Slower, but it is possible. And then obviously right here, that's going to be the main line. It's just triple. But like I said, the faster guys should be quadding in and then basically just two jumping that rhythm section. It's not a super, super long rhythm section. So like I did, a lot of people are probably two jumping it. Oh, alright. That's the first issue I've had with the ruts in the berms. That was kind of just a weird incident right there. But as you can see, this track is a little bit more one line than I'd like it to be. A lot of these insides are really tough to get into, and you gotta like check up to get to them. And one thing I didn't point out yet is that whoop section wasn't too bad, but that first whoop section, they're really, really tall. Now, I like tall whoops in this game just because that's probably the only thing that can separate the field from, you know, going fast. Because if you get out of shape or, you know, your front tire dips into one of the gaps, it's really tough to get going again. And you lose a lot of time. And I know I said this track is technical, but once you get like the rhythm down and everything, it's not too bad. It's not the most technical Supercross track I've ever played. But you know, it can come up and bite you. Like I said, the whoops, if your front tire dips down, obviously you're going to lose some time because they're pretty deep. But see, like I said, that was just a weird incident with me getting reflex in that berm. The berms are really, really consistent. The ruts are really consistent, so... One thing I didn't talk about yet is the environment. He didn't do a whole lot with it. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a private compound almost, or like a local track or something like that, but not a whole lot going on for the environment. Just a few trees over there, and then silo, a couple dead trees, and then obviously you got the dozers and the trucks and whatever. But I don't know. I don't mind the environment, honestly. It fits with the track, I guess you could say. So I'm not going to rag on him for the environment. coming up to the finish line. Oh, and another thing, I usually don't like sand sections, and I know that one isn't really long, but I don't know. It's just a nice little, like, change of terrain, I guess. But obviously, I just finished up here. But overall, this track is really, really fun, and this is his, like, second track I think he's made. Like I said, I reviewed his most recent, and it was good, but honestly, I think this one might be better. It's a little toned down from his other one that I reviewed, which is nice, but it's still technical in some areas. So overall, it's one of the tracks that you can't just pick up and play and be fast, but you don't have to spend, you know, a ton of time trying to get a good lap. Like I said, he said around a minute 20 is pretty average, so not too hard to get that. I got that on like my, I don't know, 10th or 11th lap on the track entirely, but overall, I think I'd rate this one like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's probably a track that I'll continue to play. I don't play Reflex all that often, but when I do, this is probably going to be one of the tracks that I fall back on. Very fun track. Thank you for the content, Gary, if you're watching this, and I will see you guys next week. But before I go, like the video if you liked it. Comment, let me know what you think of the track if you played it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, now I'll see you guys next week for another Reflex track review. See ya.